Aggies in the white, navy blue for the Panthers, and the opening tip is slapped out of bounds, and it's going to be Aggie ball. Aggies scored enough on Thursday, just didn't defend enough against Missouri State, giving up 84. They allowed 89 to FIU in Miami in the first matchup. Lob up top for Juice Mims. He reaches high, grabs it, and slams it down in the feet from Elliott.
Well, you would need more than two hands to count all the alley-oop slams by Julius Mims this year.
The Aggies like to start games with that play. It's been pretty effective overall. Here's Zaudy Jackson. Aggie fans know him well. Deep two over Mims, rims in for Zaudy, who's averaging 11 a game this year. Was just under 11 a game a year ago as an Aggie. FIU can score at 83 points per game. Third best in Conference USA. That's a steal for Ashton Williamson, who lays it in on the other end. The Panthers do force 16 turnovers per game.
Well, somebody's going to have to take the ball out of bounds here.
Kobe Osborne sprints back to get it. Two defenders down there. Elijah Elliott running the point. Chris Terrell will come off the bench. Gabe Pickens not playing much the last couple of weeks. We'll see how much he is used here tonight. Elliott, long floater, rings through for Elijah Elliott. Good decision making early for Elijah. Eric Tabami slings it out for Hamed Olainka. Transfer from Samford, well-traveled career, 11 a game for him this year.
Olainka is greatly improved over the last 3 years of his career.
Just like New Mexico State, a lot of transfers for Jeremy Ballard and FIU. Long too good for Jamel Jones. Top scorer for the Panthers is Corey Stevenson. Like Russ said, former teammate of Jamel Jones at CSU Bakersfield. Corner three for the aforementioned Stevenson, pulled in by Mims, who averages 8 rebounds per game. Mims part of the starting five for Jason Hooten here today. Elliott, Jones, Mullen, and Osborne. The other four. Deep three swishes in. 5 early, Elijah Elliott.
Well, there seems to be some confusion as to who's guarding Zaudy Jackson here. I'm not sure whose job it is.
Hand off to Stevenson, 17 a game, 6th best in Conference USA, right in front of Jones, who's 7th best. Jackson guarded by Elliott. Zaudy, a thicker guard. Aggie fans saw that last year. Really physical. Not known for his three-point shooting, way off on the three. Only shoots 35%. Aggies averaging 77 points per game. Scored enough to win on Thursday. Turnaround is good inside for Juice Mims, who is really playing well.
Well, instantly I will say, Adam, that the Aggie ball movement and execution on offense is much better than it was against Missouri State, even when they were playing well.
Kick out of the corner to Williamson. His three is wide left. Good box out Mims. Cleaned up by Osborne.
Mims did such a good job boxing out there, Adam, that the ball bounced.
The Aggies 5 for 5 from the field. Two defenders surrounding Elliott. Mullen. Osborne. Trying to go back to Mullen, and a foul is called inside on FIU. It's going to be on Eric Dabami, the freshman out of Cameroon.
Well, I've grown to be a great fan and have great respect for Jacoby Osborne as we see Juice Mims cut through the lane. But he's almost always undersized. He gets it done through smarts and effort all the time, and he just keeps getting better.
Russ, I've been hearing that a lot the last month from Aggie fans too. They love watching Jacoby Osborne.
He just gives you a great effort, as we see another great effort player come in. Chris Terrell comes in for a minute.
7th straight start here today for Osborne, the sophomore out of Missouri City in Texas. This is both. Mims got a hand on it. He touched it last. Overall, the free throw shooting has improved for Osborne, but he misses both. Aggies pick up the pressure. Chris Terrell is going to guard Zaudy Jackson on this end. Terrell came in for Elliott. Olainka flips it for Stevenson. Working on Osborne. Muscles inside and scores. Physical play by Corey Stevenson, who played at Bakersfield the previous 2 years. That's off the leg of Panther, it looks like, so it is going to stay Aggie ball. Russ, you used to always talk about Aaron Brote, who set screens for New Mexico State, was really physical. We're starting to see that right now from Kyrie Smolin. He wants to be physical with those screens.
He laid out a guy a couple times the other night. And there's a certain art to it, you know, with Aaron Brote, who's more for the shooters. With Kyrie Smolin, it's more for the dribblers.
3 for Jones. Shallow, rebound, Jackson.
Uh-oh.
Ahead for Julian Mackey. Instant offense off the bench. He just came in. 13 a game for Mackey. Spinning is Oleg Inca. And a foul is called on New Mexico State. And that will go on Jamel Jones. Efficient start for New Mexico State on offense. 5 for 6 from the field. They lead FIU by 3 on an early Saturday here at home. In that first matchup in Miami, Jamel only scored 4. Turned his ankle during that game, didn't play a ton. And he did not start the game after against Missouri State. Got back on track though, and Jamel has really played well all year. Panther ball down 3. Here is Stevenson. Terrell guarding him. Nice defense. Jalen Randall slaps it off the leg of Hamed Olainka.
A little bit of a gamble for Jalen Randall. He sort of snuck around him and played it smart.
Russ, are you seeing Jalen's defense and rebounding improving as the year goes on?
Oh yeah, I think if he gets, if he gets more consistent from the 3, he'll really be a load.
Block number 29 this year for Olainka, which is second most in Conference USA. Stevenson going to work, kicks it in the corner. Mackey passes up a 3 in the lane. Great defense by Randall, it appeared, and then a little bit too much contact.
Well, Julian Mackey can score a lot of different ways. We haven't talked about him, but he can really score a lot of different ways as well. You know, transfer from Houston Christian, formerly Houston Baptist.
We've talked a lot this year about the path for Elijah Elliott, 6 schools, 6 years. For Julian Mackey, 5 schools, 5 years. Began his collegiate career at Niagara, then he went to Northeast Oklahoma A&M, then he went to Georgia State, and like Russ said, most recently Houston Christian. 17 a game for him in the previous 4, but he only scored 5 in the first matchup. Offensive rebound for Dabami, and then a foul called on Anthony Visech, and that will displease Jason Hooten for sure.
Yeah, he's not too happy about that. The Aggies got to get the missed free throws back.
Third-year Aggie bench boss, recently recorded his 300th career win. He's going to bring Sear Malaga in the game here in a moment. Tough shot, Stevenson swishes it in over the 6'5" defender, Randall.
Yeah, big-time shot for Corey Stevenson.
Terrell, Visech, Mims, Randall, and Mullen right now. Driving kick out to Terrell. Step back straight on 3, shallow. Rebound pulled in by Ibrahim Olajuwon, who just came in off Jeremy Ballard's bench. The Aggies haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. It's clogged up in the paint. This is Dabami, goes with the left, airballs it. Mullen tiptoes the end line. Terrell will speed into the front court. Mims was open briefly, couldn't find him. Swing pass to Randall. That's his shot on a pull-up. Missed it heavy. And Mims tips it out around 2 Panther defenders.
Smart play by Julius Mims to keep that alive.
Terrell to Mullen. Deep 3. Way off. Aggies off to a great start in the first stretch shooting the ball, and now they're really struggling from the field. But they will keep the ball in the end line as 2 new Aggies come in. Osborne returns and Malaga is in for the first time.
You know, Corey,
level shot there.
I was going to say he's not so different from Jamel Jones. He's got a great medium-range game.
Visech gets open, quick release, good for Anthony Visech, and that is a really good sign.
Yes, and the Aggies are going to need him to score. He was scoreless against Missouri State. I thought he played pretty well. He just didn't score much.
15 on 4 threes in the first matchup with FIU this year. Brett Harris now in the game, number 1 in Navy for FIU. Pass goes to Harris. Back to Olainka. And the foul is called. The officials calling this one tight early on with 13:40 left. That's number 2 on Randall, so I would assume he will head to the bench.
Yeah. Well, he just reached. He's going to have to move a little bit more than that, I guess.
Tiago Shukatsky, freshman from Argentina, just came in for FIU. He will trigger in. Gets it into Oleinka. Shukatsky can shoot it. 8 of 16 from 3 this year. Doesn't play a ton. Trying to work around Chris Terrell. And off on the baseline. That's too easy for Julian Mackey, who slipped around Anthony Bisecht. It was a high-scoring affair in the first matchup, 89-74. Both teams scored a lot. As part of that trip when the Aggies allowed 89 back-to-back games as Osborne throws it down in the paint.
Well, great decision by Jacoby. No one came up to meet him. I thought he was going to stop and shoot it for a second.
Olajuwon flips it for Oleinka, backing down Malanga. The defense, Malanga, grabbed by Jamel Jones, who's back in. Ahead for Osborne, down the paint again. This time a lay it in. 4 in a row for Jacoby.
And he just does everything pretty well, and he's got a good nose for the ball.
3 for Harris is short. Rebound for Malanga, who traveled. Players were twisted around. Malanga was sliding on the court. And the Aggies don't catch a break.
Jacoby with the Euro step. And he's not even from Europe.
It'll stay FIU ball. Mackey hounded by Bisecht. Slipping is Debami. Extra defender helps. Number 10 to shoot for Mackey. Excellent defense, Bisecht. Tough shots. Well done. That is a big-time defensive stand by that individual, Anthony Bisecht.
Yeah, he played that one perfectly.
Russ, Jason Hooten said last week he feels like Anthony shoots the ball way better when he's defending at a high level. He's more in rhythm.
That's interesting because a lot of players, and I think he's correct, but a lot of players are the opposite. If they work hard on defense, they're too tired to shoot the ball.
Right idea by Elliott, but Jones just a tad late. Kick out, open 3. Mackey on the step in. Back rim no good. Grabbed by Shukatsky. Physical down low, and it's squirted through by Eric Debami.
Maggie's got out-hustled a little bit on that. You don't see that too often.
Elliott bumped by Shukatsky. Aggies back on track now for the field with the help from Osborne. Back to on that squad that played Baylor in the NCAA tournament. Part of the Shaka Smart coaching tree, as is the entire staff for FIU. And Russ, you and I both agree on this. Great coach, even better man.
Yeah, really interesting guy. He's a cerebral guy. He came over before the game, and I wanted to talk about Zoddy Jackson and Corey Stevens, and he wanted to talk about books. I think he's a deep guy. I think he's a credit to college basketball. He's just an interesting person.
We loved his time here, he and his wife. 2 young kids now. Always enjoys coming back. Aggie ball with Jones. Kicks it to Osborne. Osborne with a crease. Threw it up, no good. Pinballs around. Picked up by Tiago Shukatsky. Shukatsky back out for Mackey. Contested 3 over Osborne. Good. And we're tied at 18. Mackey highly efficient for the arc. 40% for the year. He's made 36 now. Mackey guards Bisecht. Malanga coming out for a ball screen. A tough pass, and it's intercepted by Harris. Harris will reverse it through around Jones and Bisecht. Already 4 Aggie turnovers. They only had 4 the entire game 2 nights ago. Elliott bumped. Easy call. That is team foul number 3 on FIU.
Shukatsky's not very big, but he's sturdy. You don't realize how thick he is till you get down here at courtside.
He's only a freshman out of Argentina. part of this 7-0 Panther run. Setch trying to throw it in for Jones, who was posting up Harris on the inbound. 2 points right now for Jamel Jones. Aggies trying to get him rolling again. Scored 28 2 nights ago. 20 points per game in his previous 6 since only scoring 4 against FIU in the first matchup. Nice touch pass down low. Malanga can't stick it in though. Jones found him, it's loose, and still loose, then picked up by Osborne. Panthers have the arrow, so they'll have the ball.
What, is Zadi hurt? No, that's not Zadi.
It was the perfect pass by Jones, and not an easy finish for Malanga, but probably one he has to finish. The Aggies trailed big right around this juncture Thursday, trailed by 17, 12 minutes into the game. They're only down 2 at half, took a lead in half 2, led by as many as 6. Much better start today. Jump hook is short for Eric Debami, the freshman from Cameroon. Jones will skip it for Osborne. Setched is open near corner, but Osborne couldn't find him. Elliott blows by the defender. Turnaround jumper. Too strong for Elliott. Malanga tipped it around twice off the backboard. No numbers for the Panthers. Mackey will heave and rim off the 3. Ball side board snatched in by Jamel Jones. Jones attacks. Jones to the rim. Falls away. Missed it short. And saved off the body of Malanga. Nice idea there by Ola Inca. Russ, when I watch FIU play, I think of length. They are just long across the board, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're sort of interchangeable. They have different strengths and weaknesses, but they're long and they're active and they're quick. And Jeremy Ballard has them playing hard.
That entire staff of the Panthers is part of the Shaka Smart coaching tree, so you know they're going to play hard. Joey Rodriguez on the staff as well. He was the point guard during the VCU Final Four run in 2011. Kelsey Pop was on that staff as the director of basketball operations when Shaka Smart was at VCU. Stevenson will shoot 2 free throws. There's Fowler and Osborne. A little bit, I think, on the wrist area on the shot by Stevenson.
Jacoby didn't think so.
He grazed the wrist. I don't know if it altered the shot.
I think so too. But he played it pretty well, except for just the last instant.
Panthers went 7-4 in non-league play this year. They're certainly improved from a year ago. But they're riding a 5-game losing skid right now after starting 2-1 in conference play. And like we said off the top, they could have easily been 3-0. They had a couple of sizable leads in the conference opener before losing in overtime against first place Liberty. It just shows you can beat anybody in this league, but you can also lose to anybody in this conference. There is that much parity this year.
Well, that's right. The Aggies had Liberty beat. I thought they were going to win the game in the last minute and then didn't.
9-0 run for FIU. Gabe Pickens in the game. Did not play Thursday. Only 5 combined minutes in the previous 3 games. Post-to-post feed is stolen. 1 too many passes there. Grabbed by Ashton Williamson. Here is Stevenson. Back out for Jackson. Biggest lead today for FIU. Straight on 3 is no good for Williamson. 3rd rebound for Mims. Elliott trying to spin around Williamson. Back out for Pickens. Pickens will fire a 3. It's way short. Not the shot Jason Hooten wanted as Jones forces a jump ball and gives the possession back to New Mexico State. He got tied up with his former teammate.
Well, great hustle and heads-up play by Jamel Jones.
Russ, what do you want to see here today from Gabe Pickens as he tries to fight his way back in the lineup?
Well, he's always a good defender and always a good passer. I think, where I find where Gabe is really good is when he's playing with confidence, and he's going to have to find that from within himself. I can't give it to him. Jason Hooten can't give it to him.
That's a good pass by Pickens. An open three for Elliott is no good. Last touch by Stevenson. Aggies will have the ball in the end line.
But his minutes have been cut the last couple of games, but he still leads the team by far in assists. I do think he's a leader. I think he's got a great future in New Mexico. He's only a sophomore.
Mims was open. There you go. Mims is open again. Tried to dunk it. He's fouled going up.
Well, there seemed to be some confusion with the Panthers as to who was guarding Mims.
At times, Russ, it's almost like the Aggies maybe a little bit too unselfish here, right?
Well, Jacoby Osborne in particular, when he had the ball at 2 feet away in the previous play and threw a bounce pass. But the challenge for him is he's a little bit undersized to be under the basket there.
We could have rattled off the stats for Juice, who's had a great year, but what's impressed you the most about what he's done so far, Russ, in the first 18 games?
Well, he's a really quick jumper. He never hangs his head. He just keeps coming to play. He doesn't get discouraged. And boy, he's such an explosive leaper. He's got to get more consistent at that, the free throws.
The first made free throw snapped a 4:30 scoreless drought. Jackson's three spins off. FIU now 1 for 9 from deep. The Aggies catching some breaks here. FIU normally a really good three-point shooting squad. Pickens corner three. He's 0 for 2 now. Backside board for Harris. Jackson zips around Pickens and then runs into him. And a foul is called on Pickens. The contact, it seemed like, was initiated by Jackson, who was leaning into Pickens. I'm not sure what you do there if you're Gabe Pickens. That is thick point guard versus thick point guard going at it. Panthers lead by 3, 7:41 left. I'm sure want a win every single night, but this is not the WAC. This is Conference USA, and it is a battle every single night.
I think that's absolutely right.
No disrespect to the WAC. You could have off nights and still find a way to win a game. You don't play well in this league, and you're going to lose by 10 or 15.
And we talked about the Aggies getting off to a good start, Adam, but in the last few possessions, they're 3 for 14 in their last shots. After starting off 5 for 6, they just haven't been able to get the ball in the basket.
Pickens throws it away. Intercepted by Harris, who threw it off the backboard to his teammate, Corey Stevenson. Nifty find by Harris. I was wondering at first what he was doing. Stevenson was trailing the play. Osborne wide open down low. Nice find by Pickens.
Yeah, good patience by Gabe there. He didn't panic in the double team.
26-21. Panthers up a handful. That's too easy for Hamed Olainka, the transfer from Samford, who's out of LA. 11.7 rebounds per game for Olainka. Slipping his Mims, he's wide open. Good find again. Back-to-back helpers by Pickens.
Yeah, good pass again by Gabe Pickens. Florida International seems to be a little confused with their matchups from time to time.
Jackson speeds around Pickens. Drive and kick to the arc for Williamson. Panthers 1 for 10 from 3. There's a foul on the other side, opposite from the ball. Mims was tussling with Olainka, and the foul is on Juice Mims.
It's a little early in the game for that kind of fancy pass, but it worked for the Panthers.
Foul was the first on Mims. Took a hard spill as well, but he is okay. Well, it's team foul number 7, so this is 1-1 coming up for the Panthers, and Olainka, who only shoots 53%. Panthers, the second worst free throw shooting team in the conference at 67% as a squad. The Aggies trying to make it a one-possession game again. Pickens back to Mims. High-low feed looking for Mullen, and it was slapped away and stolen. The Aggies have committed 8 turnovers. That's a really high number for them. Deep three good for Julian Mackey. Panthers haven't shot it well from the arc, yet they're up 8 here on the road. Just 2 for 11 from deep.
And to come down with a single pass and get an open three, that's not the kind of defense that Jason Hooten's teams are famous for.
Biggest lead for the Panthers. Chris Terrell about to check in for Pickens here in a moment. Nice pass by Pickens. Extra dribble Mullen. Corner 3. Rattles off for Jones. Last touch by DeBami. Russ, would you describe this FIU defense as a little bit helter-skelter, and it's hard to figure out where to go with the ball if you're the offense?
Well, I think that's part of the plan. Is they're athletic enough and scrappy enough that it can be a little bit confusing. I'm confused over here, Adam, and this is only my 30th year or so in college basketball.
Terrell comes in for Pickens, so Chris Terrell will run the point now. Jones trying to back down on Mackey. That is the 5th team foul on FIU. Right now, the Panther bench outplaying the Aggie bench. 11 bench points for the Panthers, only 3 for New Mexico State. The Aggie bench averages 33 bench points per game. So part of that right now is Jalen Randall has 2 personals, and he's been on the bench for a while. Usually he's a big offensive spark off the bench. Chris Terrell swirls off the 3. Mims almost picked up his 2nd. Stevenson almost traveled. A no call right there as Stevenson got clipped. Jackson on the reverse. Saw that so much a year ago. Zardie Jackson playing well with 6 in his return to the Pan American Center. And Jason Hooten wants a timeout. And Elijah Elliott has some words for Zardie Jackson as he passes by. 10-point Panther lead with 5:13 left. And Russ, I know there's a lot of time left in the game, but this kind of feels like a danger zone a little bit because the Panthers still haven't shot the ball well from the arc.
Well, I think that's right. And Zardie Jackson, he's a pit bull. Like, he sees that open rim, and man, he really goes after it. And as you mentioned during the timeout, he's got really good body control. He's not a great leaper. He's just smart and has a good body control.
How does New Mexico State get back on track on both sides of the floor right here?
Well, they're not. They're having trouble offensively. They're 3 for 14 or 3 for 15 in the last stretch here. They've had trouble getting good shots, and I think they're getting a little bit tentative on offense. And there's times when they've got the ball under the basket and don't shoot it, and then times when they're shooting out of trouble. And so their shot selection hasn't been what it normally is.
This is an FIU defense that has been the worst in the conference this year, giving up just under 79 points per game. Offense, not the issue for FIU. It's been defense this year. They gave up 83 against UTEP in a loss on Thursday night at the Haskins Center. Jalen Randall back in. Elliott throws it to Mims. Left it short. He was too deep. Got caught underneath the cylinder and at the front side of the rim. Jackson, drive and kick. Open look Stevenson. That's a great shot right there. Right now, Zardie Jackson really creating for his teammates in addition to his 6 points. Pull up for Elliott. Air ball. Mims was pulled in the back without a call. Had a Panther tugging on his jersey. Randall. Easy flip in down low for Randall, who needs to avoid his 3rd personal in this end. Step in 3 for Jackson. That's not really a shot. Weak side rebound for Mullen. Terrell off the Mims ball screen. Randall going to work again. Gets to the rim again. That basket should count. It will. This is going to be an and one opportunity for Randall. He got fouled going to the rim. The shot's going to count. I don't think it was going to go in, but it's goaltending on FIU.
Yeah, Olowinka made not a great decision there.
That was going to be well short, it appeared. Oh yeah, that was going to be short. Yeah. That was going to hit the front of the rim.
And it was definitely on the way down. But you mentioned the Florida International giving up a lot of points. But Adam, I think part of it is the design. I think they're very interested in pace, and I think they're trying to push the pace, and they're very comfortable in an up and down game, which is not exactly the Aggie strong. And I think that's happening a little bit here tonight.
It's the Shaka Smart style, right?
Well, you know better than I do. I remember his Texas teams and his VCU teams. Haven't seen his Marquette teams as much.
5 in a row to Randall to pull the Aggies within 5 as Mims blocks the shot. Chris Terrell says review. So Jason Hooten can call for a coach's appeal right here. Chris Terrell was convinced this should be Aggie ball. And I think he's right.
Yeah.
Now, if Jason wins this, he doesn't lose a timeout. Can still review one later on as well. You get 2 max. And this will turn into a media. I think this will get overturned. We'll find out when we come back. 5 straight points for Randall. 5-point lead for FIU. There's a quick review by the officials. James Curran, Alan Sutton, and Ryan McCarty.
Maybe there's a job with Aggie Vision for Chris Terrell someday.
And now the Aggies can get this to a 1-possession game again. They carved into it. Back-to-back possessions with points for Jalen Randall, who has 5 points on the previous 2 possessions. Terrell trying to get it to Mullen. 2 defenders surround him. Kyrie's trying to step through. He does, and he gets tripped up. That's foul number 7 on FIU. So 1-and-1 coming up for a 56% free throw shooter, who has had a massive improvement the last 3 months, Russ.
I'm shocked that as we see Jeremy Ballard give his opinion. When I was going to practice in September, I thought this guy must be a walk-on. He was overweight and heavy. He just seemed to, but he just keeps getting better. He's really determined. He keeps getting better and better. He's a smart player.
And he's easy to root for.
Yes.
He's such a good young man that.
Yes.
I don't care who you root for, you want Kyrie's to do well. It's about the right stuff. 3rd straight start today for Mullen. Drops in both free throws, and it's a 1-possession game just like that. It was a 10-point lead moments ago for FIU. 50 seconds, 7-0 run. Post entry. Handoff back to Mackey. Shot clock down to 10. Harris trying to create. Shot clock down to 8. Mackey with 4 on the timer. Fadeaway 3 for Harris. Mullen had his jersey tugged on by Dabami, no call. Randall to Mullen, trying to tie us up at 33, missed it shallow. And Olajuwon tips it to his teammate, Britt Harris. Throws it off the leg of Chris Terrell. That's a shot you want Kyrie's Mullen to take, though, right, Russ? It's open.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because he's down to now. He's a little below 30%, I think, for the year, and he does look good shooting it. What I find sometimes what Kyrie does is when he's very tired, it's just easier to put up the 3, and I think he can't shoot the 3 out of being exhausted. It needs to be, when he's set and when he's in his rhythm, because he's just too smart of a player to take a shot that's not a good shot.
That's a big one. That's foul number 3 on Randall. It's going to put Stevenson to the free throw line. I think Randall took a pop to the face as well.
That seems like
he took an elbow to the face.
Now why?
The officials are probably going to look at this. Randall is the one who got called for the foul. So this is interesting. Foul on Randall, but he took an elbow to the face.
Well, I don't want to be. If they missed that call, that's the first one they've missed all day, which is a pretty good percentage. But it looked to me like Corey Stevenson hit him with both elbows.
Timeout for review.
Question is, did Randall foul him before the elbow? That might have been. It might have been a foul on Randall before he took an elbow. Let's see on another replay. Yeah, he was all up. 1-and-1 for Stevenson, 2 for 2 today, 76% for the year.
Well, they had a chance. They looked at it closely on the replay. I thought they'd had it wrong, but evidently they've made the right call. And if they did get it wrong again, they've been excellent up to this point.
Tell you what, Russ, I want to watch some old Big West games to see what Bakersfield looked like with Jones and Stevenson playing together a year ago.
Yeah.
That could have been fun to watch. They didn't win a ton of games, though. Struggled a little bit in a really good lead. Elliott swirls off the 3. Good look again. Elliott 2 for 6 from the field. Neither team shooting well from 3. A combined 4 out of 26. Output floater is good. Olaika on a helper from Jackson. So Artie Jackson finding his teammates. 2 assists now for Jackson. Terrell picked up his dribble near midcourt. Terrell looking inside for Mullen. Post touch, spins to his left, can't finish, gets it back though. Mullen puts it up again, a lot of contact, and it's slapped out of bounds. Last touch by FIU.
Well, great effort by Kyrese Mullen. He just couldn't get it to go in.
Mullen 0 for 4 now from the field. 2 points on 2 made free throws. You can see, though, there is a concerted effort to get some post touches. The Aggies are trying to feed the post and then work inside, outside as Mullen throws it away, but Mackey was falling out of bounds, and he was out of bounds when he touched it.
That's what I mean about the Florida International defense. They're creating havoc. They're trapping and scrapping, and the traps are unpredictable, a la Nolan Richardson. And I think that's part of the design. I think they want the score to be 90 to 85 at the end of the game.
The Aggies have missed 8 of their previous 10 from the field. Elliott stays with it. Mullen trying to put it back, and he was fouled on the putback try. Foul goes on Olajuwon, who's stunned. I don't think he was around the play. I think it should have been on Mackey. Where's Olajuwon on this? Okay, so the foul was on. If the foul's on Olajuwon, the shooter should be Elliott. Right, Russ? It was Olajuwon fouling Elliott initially, but the foul was called on Olajuwon on the putback try for Mullen.
But this is the new Kyrese Mullen, who's hit 3 free throws in a row.
I think that's a miss right there. I think if the foul's on Olajuwon, he's the one who was guarding Elliott. Yeah.
Well, thank goodness. Spoke too soon. I thought Kyrese had done the business at the free throw line.
6-point lead for FIU. 1:45 left in the first half. Williamson around the ball screen to the rim. Blocked off the backboard by Mims. High flyer. Terrell lobs it for Mims. Threw it too hard. Gets it back. And Visech will reset with Elliott. Flare screen set. Visech couldn't get free. Tic-tac-toe to Mullen. Mullen puts it up, blocked away. And last touch by Kyrese Mullen. Good interior defense by the Panthers.
But Kyrese is giving it everything he has. He's just, he's just a little bit undersized.
Osborne will come in for Mullen to give him a breather. I think he might have taken 1 dribble too many. A big block on the other end, though, by Mims. That was big-time stuff. Jackson maneuvers around Terrell. Missed the layup try short. Olajuwon trying to find an angle. Terrell forces the jump ball. Possession stays with FIU.
Well, great effort by Chris Terrell. He's been good tonight, hasn't he?
Plus, the Aggies have to find a way to stop the penetration of Zardy Jackson. He is getting wherever he wants to go right now. Jackson, the inbounder. Gets it in for Williamson with 1 minute left in the half. Mackey looking inside. Layup try, pinballs off, put back try no good for Olajuwon. Stevenson got it. He goes up, no call. Hit the top of the backboard. The bench for FIU can't believe there wasn't a call. And the Aggies will have the possession.
Well, it's been physical at both ends. I think those were the right calls on both of the last series, down under the Aggie basket and under the Panther basket. It's been even at both ends, and that's all you can hope for as a coach or a fan.
The Aggies haven't made a field goal in almost 4 minutes. Terrell circles in the paint, flips it on the baseline for Mims, who throws it away. Right in the hands of Mackey. Panthers could have the final shot of the half if they take it, but they'll take an open 3 for Williamson, who drains it. And now a timeout is called by FIU after the made 3. 9-point advantage for the Panthers. It was 10. The Aggies cut it to a 1-possession game, and now the Panthers grow it up to 9. It's an open look. You have to take that no matter what the clock says if you're Ashton Williamson, the sophomore out of Gary, Indiana. What are you drawing up here if you're Jason Hooten for a final play?
Well, I think he's got Jamel Jones back in the game. I think we're going to expect either Jamel Jones to get the ball or to be the decoy and maybe alley-oop to Julius Mims.
Shot clock will be off. 22.2 left in the half. Aggies led by 5, 7 minutes in, 18-13. Since then, the Panthers pretty much dominated. They've led by as many as 10 when it was 33-23. The Aggies made it 33-30. And since then, the Panthers have gone on a 7-1 scoring run. The Aggies break huddle with Osborne, Terrell, Mims, Jones, and Visech. Kotsky picks up Terrell. Crosses midcourt with 17 seconds and the shot clock off. The Aggies are in the bonus. Jones going to work. Shukotsky will switch and guard it. Jones throws up a shot, left it short. And the Aggies will not get a second shot away. That was the look Jason Hooten was looking for. Juice Mims will inbound. The Aggies looking for a similar start shooting-wise to how they started the game. Made their first 5 in the field to start the game. Hand off to Elliott. It's a step on Williamson. Fumbled, got it back. Swings it for Jamel Jones. Jones, pump fake. Shot blocked by Stevenson. Mims had his jersey grabbed. And then it's saved by Zardy Jackson to his teammate Williamson. Jones guarding Stevenson, who had a great first half. Fadeaway jumper away short. It was an air ball. Picked up underneath by Kyrie's Mullen. Threading the needle to Osborne is Elliott, and Osborne couldn't keep his balance. Williamson angles inside. Poked by Mims. Pulled away by Elliott. Squirts out to Osborne. No numbers for Jones. Let's see if he attacks. We'll back it out and reset with Elliott. Sloppy start here in the first minute for both. The Aggies trailed by as many as 10 in the first half and cut it down to 3 quickly. Mims for 3, wide right. Offensive rebound, Osborne around his former teammate Jackson. And then poked out of bounds by Zardy Jackson. Elliott the inbounder. Inbound pass goes to Jones. His 3, good. Much needed for Jamel Jones, who only scored 2 points in half one.
Well, we talk about this a lot, Adam. And often with Jamel Jones, he just needs 1 or 2 shots, and then the floodgates open. Sometimes it happens with a free throw or a layup, but maybe that'll get things turned for him.
Almost forces a turnover. Grabbed by Williamson. Season high 28 2 nights ago for Jamel Jones. Williamson inside and flipped in by Eric DeBami, who was really quiet in that first half. He can really shine. 9.7 rebounds per game for the freshman.
Yeah, he's one of the better freshmen in the league for sure.
It's poked out to midcourt. Scooped up by Jamel Jones. A lot of ties and lead changes early. Aggies trying to find a rhythm on this end of the floor. Cutting is Mullen, overthrown. There's been a lot of breakaway layups and dunks here today for the Panthers because of Aggie turnovers.
Well, that's turnover number 10. And again, as Lou Henson used to say, a turnover is often a layup at the other end, and it certainly has been today.
Elliott fires it back outside. I don't know who he was throwing to, either Osborne or Jones. And another layup try. This one is missed, though. It was missed by Williamson. It was wide open. He could have dunked it. And you can see frustration kind of settling in on this end of the floor right now for New Mexico State. Jamel Jones is going to get free throws. It's been some lackadaisical passes, some passes that just haven't been there, that have led to this turnover number of 12 right now. And once again, this is not an Aggie team that turns it over much.
Not sure how Jamel got that shot past the defenders there.
think you have to mark off that missed layup by Williamson as potentially a key point, maybe a turning point in the game. Because I think Jason Hooten was going to call a timeout right there.
Yes.
It was going to be a 12-point lead for FIU. I think Jason was going to call a timeout, and now Jamel Jones can make it a 4-point swing, essentially.
And again, maybe this will be the spark that Jamel Jones needs to start getting untracked.
Instead of a 12-point lead for FIU, it's an 8-point lead. Olajuwon back in, comes in for Ola Inca.
Well, we'll remember that moment as the game goes on.
It was wide open, uncontested. The Aggies were giving Williamson a layup, and he just left it short. Maybe he thought there was going to be contact there, and he was bracing for it. I don't know. Malanga now in for New Mexico State. So is Chris Terrell. Jackson fires it in the corner. Williamson down the key. Pinballs off this one. Putback try, though, wide open down low by the Nigeria native, Ibrahim Olajuwon. Terrell bounces to Mims. Cut by Osborne. Shot clock down to 10. Two defenders surrounding Jones. Fade away short. Stevenson maneuvers around Jamel Jones with numbers, a 3-on-2. Step in three, swishes in for Ashton Williamson.
A really smart pass by Corey Stevenson there. He could have shot it himself, but Williamson had a better shot.
And now we'll get the Jason Hooten timeout with the Panthers building their lead up to 13. Not the half-2 start the Aggies were looking for. They're searching for answers on the other bench. 49-36 Panthers looking for their first road win of the season.
And they're getting their wish so far.
We'll get another media timeout here shortly. 16-10 left in the game, so plenty of time, but the Aggies have to make a run at some point. That is off Chris Terrell. And a trap there in the corner. That leads to another turnover, 13. I mean, you can tell right now, Jason Hooten really searching for answers, searching for the right combination, to find a rhythm on offense. The Aggies, if you go back to half one, the last 8+ minutes of game time, they've only made one field goal. That slips off. Malanga clears on the miss from Stevenson. And the fear is, at some point, the Panthers will start to make some threes. They're 4 for 16 from deep today. Jones trying to create. That was slapped away in the corner to Osborne. Back to Terrell. Slip by Mims. Floater. No good for Mims. Tipped out. Grab by Jones. Trying to use the glass. Malanga sticks it in. Seer Malanga on the putback. Panthers get out and run again. This time Mackey is trapped in the interior. No held ball. Stevenson trying to finish, and a foul was called as Stevenson came down. It was a late whistle, so let's see if it's a shooting foul. It will be, and it's on Jamel Jones. And Jamel can't believe it. They might have to take a peek at this. 15:08 left in half two. Lead is 11 for the Panthers.
But look, if it was anyone, it was Julius Mims.
From what we understand, the foul is still on Jamel Jones, and it's his second. We were trying to get the attention of the officials to double check. There was no announcement of a change on who the foul was on, so it appears it's on Jamel Jones. Jalen Randall still on the bench. He has 3, picked up his third pretty late in half one. Panthers have outscored the Aggies by 4 in half two. And at some point, New Mexico State has to find an offensive rhythm. Shooting percentage down to 33% with a lot of empty trips because of 13 turnovers. An angle for Osborne. Fadeaway floater is short, but it pinballs in the hands of Mims. Put back try Malanga left it short. And Seer Malanga will get 2 free throws, so he's been good on the offensive glass in this half.
Well, the only thing that have kept the Aggies functioning here in the last few minutes is their ability to go to the offensive board there. It's 2 offensive boards.
Malanga only a 46% free throw shooter. No points, only 4 combined minutes in his previous 3 games before today. He's actually played a good amount here today. Trying to give the Aggies some production. Has 5 rebounds, 2 points. First action today for 5th-year senior Chicago native Kennedy Brown, who wears number 25 for the Panthers. Putback try for Mims. And Olajuwon gets away with a travel as he was sliding on the hardwood. And Jackson's fouled on the other end. Well, New Mexico State unable to catch any breaks. Putback dunk attempt by Mims. Pinballed off. Olajuwon slipped around the floor. And then Jackson fouled on the other end. And Zaudy Jackson, a really good free throw shooter.
And that's, we talked about it before the game. Zaudy gets a lot of mileage out of free throws and head fakes. And why a 6'11 guy is jumping at the 5'11 guy's head fakes is a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, if you just stay vertical at 6'11, it's almost impossible for Zaudy to shoot over you.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to get off his heels, and he could have blocked that one. So just sort of a rare mistake on that kind. You don't see Sir Malanga make that mistake very often.
Young man out of Stone Mountain, Georgia, on his return to the Pan American Center, drops in both free throws. Shukatsky, the freshman out of Argentina, comes in for Jackson. Terrell, Osborne, Mims, Randall, Jones on the floor. Osborne trying to create. Mims looking for Jones. Got a step on the defender. Swishes in the 3. There's a lot of time left. 14 and change, so this one is far from over. But the Aggies have to play well the rest of the way to have a chance to win this game here today. Russ, and at some point, you would have to think, too, that tired legs from travel will settle in a little bit for FIU.
Yes, somebody needs to get the message to the Panthers that Miami is a few thousand miles away. They're supposed to be tired. And the game at UTEP was a battle.
Mm-hmm. Panthers lost by 6 2 nights ago. It's a quick turnaround for both teams, playing at noon today, the earliest start the Aggies have had all year. Inca going up, he draws contact from Mims, and that is foul number 2 on Mims. Elliott's going to check back in here in a moment. Inca only a 53% free throw shooter. Inca started his collegiate career at Garden City Community College. Then he went to Utah Tech in the WAC. Most recently, he was at Samford on a really good Samford team a year ago. He's kind of had a breakout year this year for the Panthers, hasn't he, Russ?
And he's got a good-looking free throw. I think as the year goes on, I imagine he'll start making a little better percentage. There's nothing wrong with his form.
Two, rebound Mims, his 9th, 7 points, 9 rebounds for Juice Mims. Jones throws up a shot, and he's going to get free throws. He's in attack mode right now. 8.5 for Jones. In order for the Aggies to come back from this 13-point deficit, I think Jamel Jones might have to get 18 to 20 in this half to have a shot. Going to put the team on his back. $17 a game for the Chicago native. His dad's in town this week, Drake, all the way from Chicago. He's been in town a couple of times this year to watch his son play, Russ.
Yeah, and probably when it's 10 below in Chicago, he's probably happy he's here.
It's going to be hard to get back to Chicago with all the snow.
He might as well stay.
Yeah. He might be. The Aggies play at home again on Wednesday. I think they're expecting 13, 14 inches in the Midwest. Lead for the Panthers down to 11. Spin move, Shukatsky. And he's fouled going up. Foul is on Elijah Elliott. Let's see where the contact is here. Shukatsky got Elliott to slip. And Elliott on the recovery must have got some of the hand or the wrist of Shukatsky. Trying to get back to it. Shukatsky has only attempted 13 free throws this year. He's made 11.
He's a little bit like Zodie Jackson, though. He's thick and he's strong and plays smart.
Pretty significant difference at the free throw line. The Panthers making theirs. 13 of 17. Aggies just 9 of 15. Randall, mid-range. Knocks it down, so Jalen Randall back in after picking up his third personal late in half one. Blocked by Jones, and a foul is called on Jamel Jones. That's his third. Remember, he picked up the foul earlier. The officials reviewed it, and they kept it on Jamel Jones. Let's see if he got a little bit of the hand here on the shot from Harris.
What do you think, Adam? That could have gone either way. I did think he did hit his hand.
It's really hard to be an official, I'll say that. It's really hard. It's a hard job. And
yes. And they've been pretty good. They've been pretty good today.
Second free throw for Harris. In a different scenario, Jason Hooten would put Jamel Jones on the bench with 3, but you need him in right now. And this is a point of the game where you have to make a push. Elliott all the way to the rim, fires it back out to Jamel Jones, and he connects for 3.
Well, this is what a great scorer Jamel Jones is. That was not a great pass. You know, Elijah Elliott really had his hands full there, and it wound up being a sort of a desperation pass thrown to Jamel Jones's ankles.
It's team foul number 6 on New Mexico State. 7 minutes into this half. More free throws coming up for FIU.
So Jamel took that off his shoestrings there, and that's a really difficult thing to do, to get a not perfect pass and still make a 3-pointer.
Elliott probably had a layup.
Maybe,
passed it up.
But yeah, I think he saw the same. I thought he made the right decision. I wonder if there was a big guy would have blocked it.
Foul is on Bissett, his second. Free throw drops in for Stevenson. This is normally a team that you don't mind putting to the free throw line, with the exception of Stevenson, but they're making their throws here today. 75% as a squad today, 67% for the year, second worst in Conference USA. Even it cracked. Keep on going 1 out of 2. The Aggies have made their last 3 shots from the field. Jamel Jones really heating up. The Satch to Randall, wing 3, way off. Just not in rhythm consistently. Jackson muscles inside, fires it out for Shukatsky. Fadeaway jumper, tough shot, uses the glass for the Argentina native.
I mean, he does have a little Zodie Jackson, and Zodie's in the game with him at the same time. But he's tough and physical the same way his mentor is.
He's kind of like that glue guy that every team needs. That's a foul on Shukatsky. The Aggies get bailed out. Randall lost his footing. He was out of whack with his balance, and the Aggies get bailed out, and I think they're going to get free throws as well to Randall. They're going to say he was putting up a shot here.
Yeah, the Aggies might have got a break here because Randall was well, it was a foul, but it was a desperate move by Jalen Randall.
I'm not sure if he was putting up a shot either. I think he was trying to pass it to somebody.
Yeah, Sikotsky had played it pretty well there.
Randall, 81% from the free throw line. You know, Russ, it's hard to find a rhythm when you're in and you're out, and he's been in and out today because of foul trouble.
Yes. But the Aggies really need him to to come through if they're gonna win here in this conference. He's so versatile. He does everything pretty well. And if he can just get a little more consistent from the free throw line and the 3-point line.
Randall's been coming off the bench the entire year, averaging 9 a game. 8 points today in limited action because of the foul trouble.
They're in a zone here.
Aggies in a zone. We don't see this very often. 3-point try, no good. Randall reaches high for the rebound, and a foul is called. 15th foul on FIU. Well, maybe that will be key the rest of the way defensively. Jason Hooten switching up the defense. Maybe confusing FIU. Full court pressure from the Panthers. The Aggies have not taken good care of the ball today with 13 turnovers, 4 in the half. Elliott, Jones, Randall, Mullen, and Visect. Elliott trying to fire it inside for Mullen. Got it back on the end line. Defenders trapping him. Poor pass to Visect. The passes have not been crisp here today. It's been a little bit sloppy even when the Aggies have converted on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's right. And Elijah Elliott got himself in a little bit too deep there.
When you think of Jason Hooten teams, it is crisp passing, low turnovers, great defense, great rebounding. 2 players right there for FIU. It's Stevenson on the receiving end of the alley-oop.
When it looks like the Panthers may solve that zone, it's a rare zone. Have we seen a zone from Jason Hooten yet this year?
Very rarely. Elliott will heave a 3. He knocks it down. The Aggies pull within 9 again. Shots will need to fall in the final 11 for the Aggies to mount the comeback. FIU will screen the zone. Jackson swings it around for Mackey. Stevenson to Jackson. The patience here for FIU. Trying to find a cutter. It's loose and it's grabbed by Randall. Randall gets out and runs. Visect to the rim, and he's fouled going up by Zaudy Jackson. This will be a shooting foul. And now 16 fouls apiece.
I think Jalen Randall underestimated a little bit how fast Anthony Visect is. The pass was a little bit behind him there.
Russ, the stats won't wow you with Shukatsky, but he's making all the right plays right now.
No, he's that's what I'm saying. He's the Argentinian Zaudy Jackson. He's tough and he's smart and he's playing mistake-free.
Before that free throw attempt, Visect was 21 of 23 for the year. Rare miss. Cleveland native gets back on track. 8-point lead for FIU. The Aggies picking up in the 3-quarter court, trying to trap. Screen from Dabami. Jackson maneuvers. Shukatsky, the 5'10" freshman, gets by Randall and finger rolls it home. The Argentina native continuing to shine. Lead back to double digits for FIU. Jones, extra pass. Visect switches in the 3. Comeback is any indication. The Aggies would love to have his shooting in half 2. An answer though from Julian Mackey.
That's the kind of play that'll drive Jason Hooten crazy. Like one pass and an open 3-pointer. That is just not the kind of defense that his teams have always played.
Elliott trying to answer. He does. Back and forth we go. Timeout, Jason Hooten.
Well, it's not happening the traditional Jason Hooten way of tough defense, smart shots, and that kind of thing, but the Aggies have pulled within 7 here.
Well, you have players like Jamel Jones and Elijah Elliott, probably in particular, that can really create for themselves. And when you're down 13, 15, sometimes you just need that, and right now Elijah Elliott doing that.
Well, I think that was the decision. I suspect that was Jason Hooten's decision when he began starting Elijah Elliott at the point guard spot, thinking I can get him to play defense. He'll help us with his scoring.
Such a talented player, grad transfer. He's out of Houston. 14 off the bench in the first matchup with FIU. You have to remind yourself as well, he's coming off a torn ACL a year ago. I mean, he really recovered quickly, got back to where he's at now rather quickly. Was off to a great start last year early on at Southern Illinois Carbondale. The injury was early on in the season, so cut his season short a couple weeks in. And now we're just going back and forth on trays. Aggies have cut the deficit down to 7. You get a stop and a score, and it's a one-possession game.
Let's go, Aggie fans!
He's been as high as 15 for FIU in the half. Aggies trying to dig in defensively. Shukatsky bounces it. It's loose. Visech diving for it. We get a held ball, and FIU has the arrow. Good hustle shown by Kibami and Visech. Shukatsky threw that in heavy traffic, and it got tipped away. .9:27 left, but it feels like we're in the final 3 minutes of the game.
It's a bit exhausting.
Mackey can't find an angle on Visech. Stevenson guarded by his former teammate Jones. Shukatsky. Williamson contested 3, missed it short. Good box out by Kyrese Mullen.
Well, just the battle for turf there. Kyrese Mullen usually wins that one.
Elliott gets to the rim, leans in, banks it in. 5-point game.
Well, Elliott had a very rough first half. You know, he's got 4 turnovers, but he's really come on here.
Foul on Mullen, his first today. Jason Hooten shaking his head on the Aggie bench. Pretty good verticality there by Kibami. A tougher finish by Elliott.
Well, that's where the rules have changed since I was coaching, Adam, is that the verticality is a big deal now. It used to be if you left your feet and touched anyone, it was a foul. And I like that. I like the way that the emphasis now. I think it's a better emphasis, and that was correct, probably a correct no call.
This is 1-1 for Kibami. It was team foul number 7 on New Mexico State. And Kibami misses it way short. Stevenson throws it out of bounds. This should be Aggie ball. It will be. Stevenson was trying to save it as he was fighting with Jones. And Stevenson tossed it away. The Aggies have made 7 of their previous 9 from the field. Anything in particular that's changed here, Russ?
Well, just that Elijah Elliott has come. It's become a bit of a playground game, which is usually in the Panthers' favor. But it's hard to beat Elijah Elliott on a playground game.
Elliott to the rim again, trying to fire it for Mims. It was tipped out to Randall. It gets to Jones. Visech fakes the pass, shoots a 3, swirls it off, and it's cleared up by Harris.
That was the right decision by Anthony Visech, I thought, but that is a tough thing to do as well. To fake the pass and shoot the 3 is a tough one.
That's off to Bobby. That's going to be Aggie ball. Oh my goodness. It touched to Bobby into the backcourt. And over and back was not called. Harris for 3. That's an air ball.
The Aggies have every opportunity to even the score here in the next couple minutes. Florida International looks a little out of sorts.
Pull up for Randall. Put back for Mims. Left short. Mims gets it back. Sticks it in. It's a one-possession game. Ripped away by Mims. Visech diving for it. Scooped up by Williamson. Wide open in the corner, Stevenson. Held ball, it's Aggie ball.
This has turned into a heck of a game here, Adam.
63 the score. Panthers haven't scored in 2:45.
This is a little different, Adam. They're putting a 6'11" guy on the ball for the full court press. What they've done in the past is just double team Elliott and see if they can make life difficult for him. But this looks like, I'll bet they're going to trap the first pass here and see what happens.
Panthers not afraid to gamble a little more than most.
Oh, no, they didn't. No trap.
Aggies have cut back on turnovers the previous 4 or 5 minutes. Elliott trying to take over the game. Kick in the corner. Randall missed it short. Great look. That would have tied it. Good decision again by Elijah Elliott, who's really playing well right now at the point. Panthers haven't scored in over 3 minutes. Jackson, the former Aggie, backing down Elliott. Pulls it back out to the arc. 10 to shoot. Trying to throw it to a cutting Williamson. Down low, shot is up and in for Olajuwon.
Well, Jalen Randall got caught on the wrong side of Olajuwon there.
This is pretty much right where the Aggies were against Missouri State 2 nights ago. Can they finish better than they did on Thursday? Randall to Visecht. Gets to the rim, left-handed scoop shot, no good. And then Visecht fouls a 49% free throw shooter Olajuwon. So not the worst foul there if you're an Aggie fan by Visecht. 1-and-1 coming up for Olajuwon. We're going to see a lot of free throws, you would have to imagine, here in the final 6 and change. Panthers got off to a great start shooting for the line, and now they've really dipped. 15 of 22 for FIU. New Mexico State 11 of 19. Nolan about to check in. They're going to get him in right now because it is a 1-and-1 scenario. Comes in for Visecht. Haven't seen much of Osborne in a while. Haven't seen much of Terrell in a while. Incidental contact, nothing flagrant for Kyrie Smolin. One more free throw coming up. Good luck if you're Olajuwon. You shoot one free throw, now you got to wait about 4 minutes to shoot your second.
If he's tired, he might be happy about that, but we'll see.
Jeremy Ballard still pleading his case. Thought a flagrant should have been called. Yeah, that seemed pretty high from Kyrie Smolin, so Kyrie's having some words right now with Stevenson.
Another really icing the shooter.
Jason Hooten saying, let's go. Jeremy Ballard still talking to one of the officials, so they haven't given the ball yet to Olajuwon. Mims trying to grab the rebound. Last touch by Mims, who came down hard, and it's going to be FIU ball. So now the Panthers can make this a big possession. Already 1 point on the trip. Jackson, the inbounder. Gets it in for Williamson. 6:10 left in half 2. Stevenson lost it, stolen by Elijah Elliott. 3 for the Aggies will make this a one-possession game again. Elliott is bumped, and he will go to the free throw line for 1-and-1. Aggies are now in the bonus.
Well, the last thing you want to do if you're Florida International is foul out of a double team 30 feet from the basket. So Aggies have a chance to do this now, Adam. You can feel the momentum shifting. The gym is getting loud. The Lou Henson court is getting intensely loud here.
72% free throw shooter. The big shot earlier was the corner 3 by Randall. That would have tied it. That would have lifted the roof off this building. Crowd was just under 6,000 on Thursday. A little lighter crowd today on a Saturday early afternoon. Weather not great outside. It's 50 degrees and raining. It could be worse. We could be in the Midwest.
Could be in Chicago.
Could be snowed in other parts of the country. Back end of 2 for Elliott, the Houston native. 15 now for Elijah Elliott, and it's a 4-point game. Osborne, Elliott, Mims, Jones, and Randall from New Mexico State. Jackson, Williamson, Stevenson, Olajuwon, and Mackey on offense for FIU. Jackson scores it down low. 10 for Jackson, which is right below his season average of 11.
You just cannot let Zodi Jackson get the ball on the run like that. If he gets, as the coaches say now, downhill, he's trouble.
Elliott tells Randall to clear out. Steps back on Mackey and drains to 3. 18 for Elliott. Stevenson almost throws it away. Olajuwon fires it out for Mackey. Mackey almost collided with his teammates. Trying to find positioning on Osborne. Shot clock dwindling. 3 for Williamson. Mims tips it to himself, and the Aggies can tie it right here.
Well, smartly played by Julius Mims. And now it's the Panthers that seem a little bit out of sync, and we're going to see some wholesale substitutions in Florida International.
Watch out for an Elliott heat check right here. Checked by Mackey. Elliott fires. Hit on the 3, and he's going to shoot 3 free throws to tie it up.
Well, it's not exactly the way the Aggies have consistently played, but Elliott's feeling it, and I think Jason Hooten is wise enough to just get out of his way and let him do his thing.
At this point, you go 1-4 low and you isolate Elliott and let him work. And it's not just scoring right now, Russ. He's made good decisions passing the ball as well.
Yes.
He's got that defense sinking in so much on him that other players have been open. And a half for Elliott, 13 and a half for Jones. Those two players have combined for 27 of the 38 second half Aggie points. And Elliott will add to it. 1-point game, the closest the Aggies have been in quite some time. Cleared by Mullen.
Well, Aggies really got a break there. I thought that was in. Stevenson, beautiful shot.
Squirts in the hands of Mullen. Out to Mims. Under 4 left. Media timeout coming up. The Aggies trying to take the lead before the media. Heat check for Elliott. Oh, yeah!
I can't believe it. And Elliott looked over at you and said something. Don't doubt me, or give me the ball, or something.
Sent in by Corey Stevenson. Ties it up at 73. .23 for Elijah Elliott. Defended here by Williamson. Elliott steps back, fires it, and he gets fouled again on a 3.
Unbelievable.
3 free throws on the other side for Elliott. Elliott putting the team.
If you just saw that stat, Adam, Aggies have out-rebounded the Panthers by 16, which is quite a margin of difference.
He's got a ways to go for his career high. By the way, it's 40 when he was at UTRGV. Goes against Stephen F. Austin. 25 now for Elliott. 3-point Aggie lead. It was a 15-point lead, 5 minutes into the half for the Panthers. Season high for Elliott. Osborne guarding Stevenson. Back to the arc for DeBami. Mullen slides his feet well. Thrown off the leg of Zodie Jackson. Turnover, Panthers.
Well, DeBami, who may be the best freshman in the league, just a freshman mistake. And the Panthers are going to want the ball in Zodie's hands here. But they had it sort of backwards. Zodie set a screen for Eric DeBami there, which is not exactly what you'd think that they'd be doing.
How does FIU stop Elijah Elliott right now?
Just a police patrol or a 5-3 defensive blitz by a football team.
Elliott got the defender in the air, short on the three, and the defensive rebound is collected by Ola Ika. I think if Elliott would have leaned into the defender there, he might have drawn a foul on a three again.
Might have got the foul again.
Off balance shot by Williamson, wow. Saved to Mullen by Elliott.
Mullen with a real man's rebound there in traffic.
Randall attacks and spins on Jackson, floater short. Mullen will reset with Elliott. 2 minutes left.
Well, Randall went 1-on-3 on that one. I wasn't sure that was the right thing to do, but he was wise enough to throw it back out when it didn't work.
Williamson all over Elliott. Splits defenders. Lobs it up top for Mims, and he missed the dunk. Perfect pass by Elliott, and Mims missed his second dunk of the day. Oh, that would have been big. FIU with the ball, 1:45 left, one possession game they trail. They've led for 28 minutes in this game. Jackson floats it for DeBami. Mackey bounces it to Stevenson. Great look, banks it in. Nice job using the window.
Yeah, big time play by Corey Stevenson. And the Panthers want timeout.
That was on purpose, of course. He tried to use the glass. He does it effectively, 10 feet away. Terriante Thomas trying to pick up Juice Mims, who's still frustrated about the missed dunk on the previous end.
Yeah, but he can't look in the, he's looking in the rear view mirror, and Terriante Thomas and Jason Hooten are saying, we've got to go forward, we can't go backwards here. And here's a side of Jason Hooten we don't always see, how much he cares and how kind he can be to the players. You know, if you just see him stomp around the sidelines, you see there's just, he's going with Mims, and Mims is his guy. And that's a side we don't always get to see because you see him ranting on the sideline. But there's plenty of TLC.
Yeah.
I think we'd call it.
You spread it out and let Elliott create once again. I mean, it's working. Even on the previous play, he lobbed it up perfectly to Mims.
I don't know. I wonder if we've worn Elijah Elliott out at this point. I wonder if they need to go with a different option. Regardless of what happens, Adam, if the Aggies can get the ball back on an offensive rebound, that would be huge. An offensive rebound could mean the game in these next couple possessions.
The next foul on FIU puts the Aggies in the double bonus. NM State's only committed 18 fouls, so still single bonus for now for FIU. The Aggies on offense with Elliott, Mims, Mullen, Randall, and Jones.
And Elliott and Mims, Elliott and Williamson, sharing a moment, sort of both laughing at each other there in a friendly way.
The Aggies have only led 8 minutes in this game. Elliott thought he was held initially. Williamson still defends. Pullback jumper for Elliott. Too strong. Offensive rebound. Jones, he finds Kyrie Smolin for the sticker.
Again, it's the offensive rebounds that have been the difference, I think, Adam. As much as a fireworks show as we've seen from Elijah Elliott, that was a huge offensive rebound.
Stevenson ties it up. He's a 42% three-point shooter. Only his first made three all day, though. Elliott working on Williamson again. Trying to maneuver around the defender. Mullen, a corner three. Missed it short. Foul of the miss. Here comes Jackson. And a foul is called on Jamel Jones, who was trying to clear out Stevenson, and the officials are going to review it. Jones was on the near sideline trying to clear out Stevenson. Jackson was about to have a wide open layup. And I think the officials are trying to say that Jones was intentionally fouling a Panther to avoid the wide open layup for Jackson. Immediately the officials said review. Mims was down and hadn't gotten up during the play. He gets up now, is able to go off, and might have to check in with the training table. Let's see what happened here. So right there, Mims on that screen got shaken up. So he was down pretty much the entire play after that. So a common foul is called on Jamel Jones, but they're looking for an upgrade. So Jones fouled a Panther right in front of us, Russ, on the near sideline as Jackson was about to lay it in. There was no Aggies down there defending Zaudy Jackson, who was about to get a wide open layup.
Yeah, I think Mims looks like he got hit, but unintentionally by the Panthers.
I didn't see exactly what Jamel Jones did, but the official was right there, and he immediately said review.
Yeah, I think he grabbed his shorts, but trying to get around him, to gain ground on him.
Stevenson was right in front of him. I think Jamel Jones was trying to get around him. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
So Jones tugged on the jersey of Stevenson. Stevenson fell down. That was the foul. It's a common foul. So Zaudy Jackson never got to the rim. And they're trying to see if there is an upgrade on the common foul on Jones, which is his fourth. And remember, too, those two guys, Jones and Stevenson, collegiate teammates at Bakersfield a year ago.
Yeah, they weren't tugging at each other's jerseys a year ago. But Stevenson has just been a ton today with 22 points and 11 rebounds.
Another look at it. They're kind of tussling the entire way down the floor. There's the jersey tug, and there's the fall by Stevenson.
Well, as they say, Adam, it's always the retaliation. I think Stevenson pushed him first. Now, maybe whether it was enough to be a foul or not, I don't know. But Stevens initiates the contact. Jones responds and gets nailed for the foul.
Okay, so we upgraded number 21 common foul to a flagrant foul 1. Grabbing up from behind excessively. Okay? So we're gonna have number 3, 2 shots, and then they get the ball back.
2 free throws coming up for Corey Stevenson, and then FIU will get the ball. They upgraded the common foul on Jamel Jones to a flagrant for excessive pulling of the jersey.
And again,
so this is massive.
Yeah, I think Jamel was responding to a tussle with Corey Stevenson.
Stevenson calmly knocks down the first free throw. And they're going to get the ball back, and then we'll see what New Mexico State decides to do. Play it out or foul right away. Both free throws good for a 76% free throw shooter. And now FIU gets the ball. Russ, there's about a 10-second difference. Game clock, shot clock initially, but now they're going to change the shot clock to 20. So there's a sizable difference, shot clock, game clock. You play this out if you're Jason Hooten here?
I think so. I think you play it straight and trying to get a stop and don't let them get an offensive rebound.
The next foul on New Mexico State would give FIU 2 free throws in the double bonus. Randall defending Jackson. Large difference, game clock, shot clock. Shot clock down to 10. Jackson throws up a shot. Air ball. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Aggie ball for now. One official says Aggie ball. The other official might change it. One official had Aggie ball. They're going to review again. The floater did not draw the iron for Jackson, by the way, so if this is FIU ball, the shot clock's going to be down to 5. If it's Aggie ball, they had the ball down 2 with 23.9 left. If it's FIU ball, they're going to have 5 on the timer to get a shot away. The initial call was Aggie ball, so that's the call on the floor. At least that's what I saw from the near side official, Russ, and they're going to choose to review this. Who was it touched by last? Never touched the rim.
Yeah,
Mike Jackson touched it.
Yeah, that's Aggie ball for sure.
Elijah Elliott saying, I never touched it. Far side official called for the review.
Although I don't know if we can trust Elijah Elliott's I never touched it under this duress. But yeah, that seemed obvious to have gotten hit by the Panthers.
Now, if it is Aggie ball, we know who is going to have the ball here. It's going to be Elijah Elliott trying to make a play down 2.
Well, I'm 90% sure that you're correct on that, but it won't shock. I mean, there's still Jamel Jones.
You know, if you're an Aggie fan here, I guess the good news is the review does give you a chance to draw something up.
Lozardi looks like he was trying to alley-oop that, it looked like to me. Well, we can't quite.
Right here is where the fingertip of Elliott or Jackson touches the ball.
It certainly wasn't Elliott. It certainly wasn't Elliott who hit it. So it's either an arrow ball that went out of bounds or Zoddy Jackson hit it.
Yeah, either nobody touched it or Jackson touched it again.
I mean, I'm not sure why this one is taking so long.
It could be taking longer too, potentially because of the clock. Maybe they look at the clock to make sure they have the right amount of time on the clock. But this is taking a good chunk of time here. Aggies have stormed all the way back after trailing by 15, 5 minutes into the half. Elijah Elliott has been a major part of this run, with 26 in the game.
Well, it's certainly not Elliott who hits it. I don't know what the discussion is at this point. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's how much time is left on the clock when it happened. I mean, they've got the same angles we do, and it happens right in front of a referee. And
there has to be enough evidence to change the call on the floor, and the near side official was pointing New Mexico State's direction. Far side official initiated the review. Both teams in the double bonus on the next foul. So keep that in mind as we go down the final 23.9. Regardless of what the call is here, although it sure seems like it's going to be New Mexico State's basketball.
I mean, I can only think that they're debating how much time will be on the clock. Well, that was a very dramatic pause.
23.9 left. Aggie ball down 2. If FIU fouls, New Mexico State will get 2 free throws. Double bonus for both teams the rest of the way. It's in the hands of Elliott. And now Jason Hooten will call a timeout. So you get the ball in the half court and then you draw something up. 19.9 left. One of the questions here too, Russ, is do you take the clock down to a couple seconds before you make a move, or you're looking for the first best shot? How do you handle this?
I would say first best shot, particularly with the Aggies with 18 offensive rebounds. They've really dominated the boards tonight. I think a missed Aggie shot could still be a putback for New Mexico State.
It's been a tough day on offense overall for New Mexico State, but Elijah Elliott has pulled the Aggies out of a deep hole. And I would have to think he is option number one to get the shot coming up. Aggies have been in this scenario so often this year, Russ. You think back to Middle Tennessee, Liberty, most notably as of late. They've had chances down the stretch in games, and at some point you feel like they're going to get over the hump. We'll see if that happens here in moments.
Well, and you know, you've mentioned Elijah Elliott as the obvious choice here, but don't forget, you know, Jamel Jones is a pretty good player, and it wouldn't shock me if Jamel Jones takes the last shot as well. The big key, I think, if I'm Jason Hooten, is saying you get to that offensive glass, and if we wind up missing, you're going to have to foul right away, and preferably foul one of the big guys who are not great free throw shooters for the Panthers.
And it's been a big half for Jones and for Elliott as well. Both guys have played very well. Jamel Jones has scored 13 in this half. Both teams really need this one. Panthers have lost 5 in a row. They started conference play 2-1. Nearly started league play 3-0. Aggies have lost 5 of 7 after entering the new year 8-3. They've lost 2 in a row at home. And Juice Mims not on the floor. Mims was shaken up earlier, a couple stretches ago. So Mims still on the training table. Jones having issues trying to get it in. It is slapped initially. Backdoor to Elliott, who goes to the rim. He kicks out. Wing three for Jamel Jones. It is short. Grabbed by Osborne. Can't put it in. Grabbed by Mullen. Out for Elliott. Wing three. No good. Short. Pulled in by FIU. But we get a held ball. We get a held ball, and FIU has the arrow. Or did we get a foul? We got a foul called on New Mexico State. It's on Randall, his fourth. 2 free throws coming up for FIU. I mean, good look after good look. Good decision by Elliott.
And it wound up being a great offensive rebound by Jacoby. He just couldn't stick it back in. And a decent look with Elliott. They got 2 good looks from their 2 best shooters.
The wrap-up was right there. So Mullen almost forced a held ball, but Randall had the player from behind. He was called for wrapping up, and now Stevenson can ice it at the free throw line if he makes one. He misses the first one. He could have iced it if he made both. Aggies will get a shot if he only makes one. 2-point lead for FIU. Jason Hooten has no timeouts left. 2-point lead for FIU, 3.7. So the Aggies need a 3-pointer to tie it.
They've got to go long pass here. They can't have to go 80 feet.
Elliott ahead for Jones, and it's out of bounds. It's going to be FIU ball.
Yeah, they needed to go with a long pass there instead of throwing it into the corner.
The length of FIU got to New Mexico State right there. Yeah, you wanted a running start for Elliott, didn't you, Russ?
Yeah, just to get it, or else to throw an 80-foot pass.
So FIU will survive here today, 81-78. And the Panthers pick up their first road win of the season. They improved to 3-6 in the conference, 10-10 overall. Aggies fall to 10-9, 3-6 now in league play. And once again, Russ, the common theme